Bonjour, como se va? Today on the show, we have my homie Corey Lewis here. He is the life coach, mentor, small business owner, guidance counselor, and motivational speaker.
I like that.
I like that. I'm a comedian. That's all I have going for me right now. But Inspired by Lewis is a youth center, and it is located at 2692 Sandy Plains Road, Suite 2300, Marietta, Georgia 30066. Telephone number would be 770-299-2913. The hours of operation are Monday through Friday. Well, days of operation. If you'd like to find out the hours and any events they have going on, you can contact that phone number. But here at Inspired by Lewis, what is Inspired by Lewis?
What is Inspired by Lewis? Inspired by Lewis is a youth mentor program that's geared towards the development of social skills, etiquette, and character development for our socially challenged youth in our community. Yeah.
All right. So, what inspired you, Mr. Lewis, to start Inspired by Lewis?
Oh man, that's a long story. What inspired me? Initially, I always knew I wanted to work with kids. Like in high school, I knew I wanted to work with kids. I just didn't know in what aspect. So once I graduated from college, I then met someone who was a mentor to me now today. That kind of guided me in the right direction. Started working with the school. Started working in the special ed classroom. Then I started realizing that it was that particular group of kids that inspired me to want to help inspire them to become better individuals given the daily issues that they face.
That's what's up. See, that stuff like that builds character.
I don't know what that means, but
it's character.
Oh.
I just say it real differently. All right, is there an age group or a limit to the kids here at at Inspired by Lewis?
We have several different programs that are tailored to different age levels. So like our summer camps and day camps would be from kindergarten up into 8th grade.
What age is kindergarten?
5 or 6.
Okay,
5 or 6 to about 12 or 13, 8th grade.
Okay.
And then we have a one-on-one mentoring program, which is from ages 4 up until 18.
Okay, and what do you guys do with these one-on-one?
The one-on-one mentoring program is we do activities twice a month in the community, whether it's here at the facility or out on a field trip that they choose.
Okay.
Just it's like a big brother, big sister type kind of a deal.
For the kids.
Yeah.
Okay, and I was just about to ask you, what sort of activities do you guys do here at the Inspired by Lewis Center?
We do various kinds of activities. We go on 3 field trips a week. Fridays, we coined the phrase Field Trip Friday. It's like our main field trip for the week. It's how we end the week and break down for the week.
Do you mean field trip like actually go someplace, or do you guys like just go in the backyard real quick? It's like we're in the field tripping today.
We hop in the van. We take off.
Okay.
We take off.
So you do it real big, like?
Big.
Because I ain't gonna flex. Remember in high school, we probably went on 3 field trips in 4 years.
I went on 1, but
that's what I'm saying.
Right.
Field trip, what?
That was Jekyll Island. That was.
Bro, I'm about to say, where did we? We didn't even go to to an aquarium or anything.
Nah.
I think we went to the bodies exhibit, or some science, or a Renaissance festival type deal.
Sounds interesting. But you were a grade or grade 2 ahead of me?
I believe I was ahead of you. I graduated in 06.
Oh, you was 3, 4 grades.
Yeah, I was way up there.
Because I was 09.
Yeah, he was like, things changed after you left. It got better for the rest of us.
Yeah, that was okay.
Let me ask you this. Well, yeah, you already said you have a mentor, but how did this person, or whom is this person, if you want to speak on it, and how did they help you get to where you are now with the Inspired by Lewis?
That's a great question. A lot of people ask me that. So when I graduated from college, I was 23 years old, and ironically, I was at a New Year's gathering, and I ran into who's now my mentor today, and I had dreads.
I remember those.
Yeah, like I said, I was 23, fresh out of college, so I still had that mentality, that young minded mentality. Met with her, explained, and she told me who she was and what she does, and it kind of we scheduled a meeting. I explained to her what I wanted to do, and she put me in the direction that I needed to go to figure out what path I needed to take to get where I am today. Which was, when I met with her, she was like, that car is not going to work. Yeah, so the Crown Vic. Yeah. She was like, the car is not going to work, and you need to cut your hair.
But I take that as if that's what you want to do, then that's nothing really to, like, you know.
I mean, you can see now, like, you know, they're gone.
Yeah.
And I'm in a new
Mr. Clean.
There you go. I'm in a new vehicle now. But she listed a few things for me to do. I pursued them, which was volunteer opportunities to work with kids on my free time, and also to pursue the school district, which I did, which ultimately was like jackpot, getting into the school system. Yeah.
Okay. And what is it that you would like to teach here, or is it more of you would like to just reach the children here at Inspired by Lewis?
Teach the kids how to be better individuals in their community, in their home, and in the school setting. That's it.
Okay, like just be a better person.
Absolutely.
All right. And I saw your video on YouTube here, Inspired by Lewis, the intro to Corey Lewis Speaks, and you worked with special needs kids for a few years. I did not know that.
Right.
And is this when and where you said you found your gift, and what is this gift that you have found exactly?
So after meeting my mentor who guided me to get into the school system, I applied to several, probably like 20 different positions within the Cobb County School District. Had a couple of different interviews, but the first school that called me back was like, "We need you," was the first school that I went to. And I didn't know at the time what the position entailed, but when I got there, it was wild.
Right.
You know, it was the special needs classroom, and the kids were it was something I never seen before.
Right.
Someone never seen before. It's something they didn't really touch too much in the interview.
Right. It's like something that I don't know. It seems like you were just exposed to it.
Exposed. That is the proper term.
Show seems a bit too nice.
Yeah.
I was exposed to it. Yeah. And I feel like that could be a challenge if you have had no prior, you know what I'm saying, knowledge of that. Because some of these special need kids, I feel like, you know, some of them may not speak the way that we are used to communicating with other people.
Right.
So it takes you some time and or at least some understanding on your part to be able to understand what they are trying to say and how they are reacting to it.
Right, and that's what I didn't know at the time. So I'm jumping into this classroom. Everything, a lot was going on, and I wasn't really affected by the children's behaviors or attitudes. So I think like 2 years in was when I realized I was like, it's the patience that I have that I never knew I had with this particular group of kids, that I could sit in this wildfire all day and still try to help the kids be a better them.
Right, and it doesn't really, you know, affect you negatively at all. If anything, it kind of builds your character up a bit more. It's like makes you more resilient.
Right. So I think that the gift, to answer your initial question, was finding out that I had patience to work with these kids. Yeah.
I've seen you here today when you had some of the kids here today, and I was in bewilderment.
So you see,
like you're a monk with these.
you saw firsthand, like
you're meditating on like 6 perfect circles like this while they're running around you in circles screaming, and you're just like, have a seat. Yes, that's perfectly fine. I was like, bro,
got to.
And I also in that same video you said you started working for DFACS. I feel like when people hear DFACS, you know, it's people removing children from harmful homes. Is that true? And what does DFACS actually stand for?
Okay, you could test me right here. So DFACS, hold on a minute. DFACS stands for the Department of Family and Child Services.
Correct. I did not know either. I wrote down DFACS 3 times, but did not write what it meant. Well, the acronym, but then it just hit me as you say, Department for like Families and Children's Services.
Yeah, there you go. I know they call it a whole bunch of different things across the country, but no, there's multiple branches to DFACS. Earlier on in my career, I was an independent contractor for an organization that had a contract with DFACS. And so my job was working with the kids after they have already been pulled out of their homes.
Okay.
So my job with the kids would be like skill building with the kids.
And like mediating, I suppose.
Yeah, and doing family visitations, helping the kids and the parents come together and have a successful meet. And basically just we did transportations. Mm-hmm. So I picked kids up and take them to where they needed to be. So there's more things that goes on DFACS besides we just gonna snatch your kids up.
Right. I would hope so.
There's resources that DFACS provides to help these kids, and I was one of the resources early on in my career.
Okay. And what does it say? And since you started working at these places and doing these things, I'm certain that you've met some pretty amazing people and parents as well.
Very.
From different backgrounds and doing this. And do you think that doing these jobs, like the volunteer work that you did and, working with these special needs kids, did you think that doing these things helped you develop skills to make the job easier that you do here? And if so, why?
We got time?
We have time, guys.
Can you repeat the question, please?
I can. I'm gonna give you the short and sweets. Doing what you did, like working for DFACS, working with special needs kids and volunteering, do you think that doing all these things and having these skills makes it easier for you to do your job and to not deal with, but speak with parents and children and things of that nature?
Absolutely. Definitely. That's 100%. Without my experience volunteering for the different organizations, I would have no concept of how to deal with kids who are basically at risk. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that was like a class for my career. I was almost like how we go to class to get through high school to get the diploma. Volunteering for different organizations was like the class to aid to my career to get to the ultimate goal.
Right.
And being able to collaborate with the parents helps as well. To being able to it's like connecting the dots. If the dots are not connected that reach the child, then
you're probably not going to reach them the way that you intended to.
So that definitely, the parent relationship definitely has to be there for us to be able, for me to be able to, like you seen earlier, be able to be honest with the parents and share my feelings and able to help so they can just be better, become better.
And right, because everybody wants to be better, and if you don't, if you knew better, you would do better. That's my dudes used to tell. And can parents be involved with the helping or volunteering here at Inspired by Lewis if they would like to?
Absolutely.
Or do they need to go through the same type steps that you did or is volunteering different from like what you do right now?
Volunteering is we have parents come through and volunteer. We have parents who send their kids here and will stay with them throughout the course of the day or come with us on a field trip. So that's definitely an option. And we also have a couple of students that go to Sprayberry High School that come here and volunteer their time as well. So that's open. That's open because like I say, for me, volunteering opened up like a door that I never knew existed. So if I got a kid that say, "Hey, I want to come help out at your center,"
that's amazing.
Where they're going to end up. They could be Piere Lewis times too.
And they could be inspired by Lewis.
There you go.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
And what messages are you trying to send to the parents or the kids here at Inspired by Lewis?
What message?
Well, like I heard, for example, today, I don't know her name. Was it Stacy?
Yeah, it was Stacy.
Well, the kids... Well, no, the kids were like, she was talking to them about, what do you do if somebody does something?
Oh, Cynthia, Miss Cece.
Oh, Cece, yes. I'm sorry.
Miss Cece.
Yeah, she was saying, what do you do if somebody does something and it hurts you unintentionally? I was surprised by that. And then the kids were like, if they didn't mean to hurt your feelings, or they didn't mean to hurt you, then, you should apologize still because you don't know what's going on in someone else's life. That was a response that I did not expect to hear from a child.
Right.
Because some adults don't even do that.
Exactly.
But I was really inspired by that. And is that like the message that you push? Like you are in more control of what's going on around you than you are aware of?
Right. And that, real quick, that goes back to the question you asked earlier about meeting different people. I met Cynthia, which is, I met her through word of mouth. And she's been a very... huge part to our summer break, our summer camp. She comes in once a week and she does like what you saw earlier, those activities with the kids, so the kids can get like a different perspective from just me teaching them every day. So the network and the meeting different people, it definitely aids to the overall benefit of the organization and the kids.
Okay. And what is your goal here with being a mentor or a child care expert? Or like, what do you see Inspired by Lewis going to?
Basically, it's the overall improvement of the kids.
Of the kids' life and their well-being.
Yeah, at the end of the day, what I would want for the kids to take away from here is that they are able to use the tools and skills that they learn here out in the real world. That's it.
That's big. And we're almost getting ready to wrap up here, folks. And what is the best part of your job here?
The best part of my job?
There's probably so many, but if you had to pick one, like what makes you feel good or what's rewarding about this job?
Oh, that's easy. Waking up with Folgers in my cup.
Dang, the best part. Folgers.
Nah, but honestly, the best part of the job is hearing parents tell me that their time and money spent here is being shown outside these doors. That's the best.
Or like when their kids come home and they say, I learned this from Mr. Lewis or something like that. Or I'd imagine that. Like, I don't have kids and I don't very much interact with them because I don't have any.
Right.
But I can imagine, like, if you taught a kid a lesson, like, you shouldn't do this because this, that, or the third, and then that your parents see that child say this to another child, you shouldn't do this because this, that, and the third. And they'd be like, my child did this because of what you taught them.
That is the best.
It's
like someone, it's like you making somebody laugh.
Right.
You tell a joke, they laugh, it's work. You know what I'm saying?
And then they come up to me and they tell me, that was so funny. Like, even though I saw them laugh, the fact that they came up to me and said that to me makes me feel better.
Right.
Because they could have just taken that and gone and just not said anything.
Right. So essentially, it's like everything that goes on behind doors, everything worked out because the parents are coming and tell you that it's being reinforced. That's like the biggest, that's the best. It doesn't get no better than that, knowing that it actually works.
Right. And what is something strange or odd that youth or the parents do that you didn't know about until you started spending time with them? And if not strange or odd, something that you just didn't know.
Something different. Well, like I said earlier, I've had the opportunity to go in many different families' homes, and it's just basically seeing how everyone across all the board lives differently. Like, we're all different people.
Right.
And it's like eye-opening. The culture is different. People are different. The way of living is different. And so when you get to see that from someone that you don't really see every day,
right,
it's like it can be weird because you walk into someone's house and you see like you got dogs jumping all over the couch.
Right.
Like back at home,
no,
mom's not right.
Right. So you just kind of stand there and watch for a second, like, oh.
Right. But so it allows me to broaden my horizon.
Right, you know what I'm saying? It was like, I guess when you make it into someone's home or you go into someone's house, you can see or you at least understand why the child or the parent behaves or carries themselves
a certain way. Right. And so
you know what I'm saying? Like, because I've noticed some kids are physical. You know what I'm saying? When they get excited, you know what I'm saying? They may run around, they may push another kid or something like that. And some kids are only child and they don't know how to interact with other kids.
Right.
Because like me, I have 3 brothers, so we always would roughhouse.
You got 3 brothers or you are the third? Or it's 4 of y'all?
Okay, I have 2 half brothers. I'm the middle child. All 3 of us have different dads.
So it's 3 of y'all?
Yes.
Okay, so it's 3 of us too.
Yeah, so we would always play rough and things like that. When I would hang out with other kids and I would play with them with that same intensity, I guess, that I played with at home, other people was like, that's a little violent. Or he's roughhousing. Right. And I'm like, nah, that's just how we play.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then I had to learn not everybody plays that way. It's not wrong. It's just not what some people are accustomed to. And you have to meet people in the middle sometimes.
And that's exactly what, that can be, you can't go really too much into detail.
Mm-hmm. right.
What you're accustomed to. That's it.
Mm-hmm. And last question we have here, folks. Is there anything that you would like to say to the parents, children, or viewers, or anyone watching this video?
Listen to the kids, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to the kids.
Also, I know this for a fact. Kids listen way more than you think they do. They know more than you think they do. So you know, when I always tell people, treat your kids as if they're equals. Not they're grown or anything, but like speak to them as if they can understand you, because they can. They know the difference between right and wrong.
Right.
You know, so do right and be right.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But we're getting ready to close out the show. Thank you for having me here on the Corey Lewis.
Thank you. Thank you.
I've been inspired. That's why I have this shirt.
Check it out.
Inspired by Lewis, because he's the only Lewis I know how to do it.
I like that. And that rhyme.
That rhyme.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
we more official than a ref with a whistle.
There you go.
So thank you guys for watching the show. Au revoir. Adios. Arrivederci. Ciao. Sayonara. Aloha.
Peace.
Namaste right here. Bye.